Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back again, everyone, my friends, to another review video. And today, my name is Suseno Yudho, and I'm going to show you about 10 articles that I have reviewed throughout this semester on extensive reading. So, the topic of this 10th article is about speaking. I was The articles that I will show you will contain the materials about how to speak, about the anxiety about speaking, about public speaking, and other things that related to speaking skills in English. So let's just move on to the first article. The first article is titled They Can Speak English, but They Don't Want to Use It. Teaching contents through English in a bilingual school and policy recommendations. It was written by Amirul Mukminin, Siti Rahma, Sari, Edi Haryanto, Ahmad Habibie, and Mazrul Hidayat. So, the main purpose of this first article was to explore the implementation of English as a language of instruction in the bilingual school. Teaching contents in one private bilingual school in Jambi City, Indonesia. Specifically, the investigation centered on the comprehensive overview of the bilingual education program at the research site and what barriers that teachers face in teaching specific subject by using English as the medium of instruction in a micro classroom level in one private bilingual school. This first article discusses around three main questions. What is the nature of Indonesian English bilingual education program in one private bilingual school in Indonesia? The second is how do the practice like teaching materials, student English proficiency, and students assessment look like at the school and classroom level? And the third question is what are the major barriers that teachers face in teaching specific subject by using English as the medium of instruction at a micro classroom level in one private bilingual school? So, in conclusion of this first article, the writers conclude that the use of English as a medium of instruction in bilingual schools in Indonesia is crucial for the students' academic success and global competitiveness. The writers recommended that policymakers and educators can take a more proactive approach to addressing the challenge faced by bilingual schools and provide support to teachers and students to improve their English language skills. Moving on to the second article, which is called They Are Not Important Enough to Speak English, Multilingual Communication Between Kenyan NGOs and Local Communities, was written by Cameron Delgado Lancho. So, in this article, the writer explores the challenge of multilingual communication between Kenyan NGOs and local communities. It examines, it examines the language barriers and power dynamics that hinder effective communication and collaboration between these groups. The main argument of this article is that the lack of empowerment and capacity among local communities to communicate in English, despite their proficiency in other language hinders the effectiveness of multilingual communication between NGOs and local communities. In conclusion of this second article, the author concludes that empowering local communities to communicate effectively in English is crucial for successful multilingual communication and collaboration between NGOs and local communities. This article is a thought-provoking article that highlights the challenge of multilingual communication between Kenyan NGOs and local communities. While it has more limitation, the article provides valuable insight and recommendations that can inform policy and practice in the multilingual communication and development cooperation. Moving on to the third article, which is called Motivation to Speak English, a Self-Determination Theory Perspective. Now, moving on, we were just talking about the challenges in speaking English materials. Now, moving on to how we could speak English, which is this article was created by Ali Dinser, Savasilo Skurt, and Atar University Press. So, the purpose of this article was to uncover the difficulties of teaching materials in English at a bilingual Indonesian school. It draws attention to a challenge that educators can and learners encounter while utilizing English as a teaching medium. Even when pupils are fluent in English, the authors investigate the cause of this phenomenon and offer suggestions for policies to deal with their problem. And in conclusion of this third article, the results of the study show that students' rates of intrinsic motivation are higher than those of their own other orientation, and that this orientation link in accordance with theory, with classroom engagement, and autonomous support from teachers and regulation. The qualitative results also imply that despite the fact that most students are intrinsically motivated, other motivational variables may also influence their willingness to talk. The teachers appears to be the most important incentive supporter in the classroom. And moving on to the fourth article, which is called Students Rule and Practice How to Speak English Fluently by Desvitriani. This article examines the rules and practices that students apply to empower their fluency in English speaking. The author conducted individual interviews with 6 students who were selected based on their English speaking skills and explored their strategies for maintaining fluency in communication. In conclusion, the author concludes that the study's findings are relevant to language teachers and educators who are seeking to understand how students learn and improve their speaking skills. The studies emphasize on the importance of individualized strategies and the role of context in shaping language learners can inform the development of more effective instructional approach. Moving on to our fifth article, which is titled Do You Speak English? Language Anxiety in Speaking Skills. Now we're going to talk about the anxiety in speaking. It was written by Camelia Aladik and Anka from Sringu. This article examines the psychological factors that hinder students from speaking English fluently. The authors explored the anxiety experienced by students when speaking English, discussing the cause and effect of this anxiety on language learning. They also propose solutions to overcome this psychological barrier. In conclusion, the author concludes that the study findings are relevant to language teachers and educators who are seeking to understand how students learn and improve their speaking skills. The studies emphasize on the importance of psychological factors in language learning, and this article can also inform the development of more effective instructional approach. Moving on to our sixth article, which is called We Only Speak English Here. English Dominance in Language Diverse Immigrant After School Programs. It was written by Melanie Jones, Minaji Okamoto, and Valerie from. The purpose of this article was to examine the practice and goals of after-school programs, or SPS, serving immigrants with youth with diverse ethnic and language background in San Francisco, California. The authors investigate how ASP learners address language issues in the face of diversity and how these practices align with the cultural development vision and goals of community ASPs. In conclusion of this article, the result of the study showed that without reworking funding and instructional system for language programming, English dominance may continue as a normalized method of practice in CDU programs. They emphasize the need for more effective language support and culturally relevant practice to empower immigrant and language minority youth. Moving on to the seventh article, which is called Why I Can't Speak Up, Student Anxiety in Public Speaking. This article examines the factor influencing students' anxiety in public speaking and how students anticipate their anxiety when speaking in public. The authors conducted a qualitative study using narrative inquiry as the design. In conclusion for this article, the author said students' anxiety in public speaking is a significant use that can be addressed through effective teaching strategies and classroom practice. Moving on to our eighth article, which is called Anxiety Level in Students of Public Speaking Cause and Remedies by Farhan Raja. The purpose of this article was to examine the anxiety level in students of public speaking, exploring the reason behind this fear and recommending strategies to overcome it. The study uses quantitative research paradigm of sample of 15 students from a reputable private sector business school in Karachi. In conclusion, the results of the study show that students who feel public speaking can perform well if they use certain strategies to fight their fears. Findings indicate that 75% of participants admitted their fear of public speaking and 95% agreed that if proper counseling, instruction, and coaching are provided, this fear can be overcome. Moving on to the ninth article, which is Fear of Public Speaking, Perceptions of College Student and Correlates by Anna Carolina. The purpose of this article was to examine the prevalence of fear of public speaking among college students and its association with demographic variables and those related to voice and oral communication. The study uses a cross-sectional descriptive and analytic design with a sample of 1,145 undergraduate students. In conclusion, the results show that the study concludes that fear of public speaking is a prevalent subtype of anxiety among college students, with 63.9% of sample reporting fear of public speaking. The finding indicate that being female having infrequent precipitation as speakers in groups and perceiving their voice as high pitched or too soft increase to all the exhibiting fear of public speaking compared with students with those features. Moving on to the last articles, called My Head Became Blank and I Couldn't Speak, Fascinating Factors That Influence English Speaking by Simon Christopher. This article purpose is to examine the factor that influence English speaking in Japanese classroom, specifically focusing on the perception of 104 English department undergraduate. The study uses a narrative frames approach to gather data on classroom situation that facilitates and inhibits students' capacity to speak English. In conclusion, the results of the study show that classroom factors play a crucial role in shaping students' capacity to speak English. The findings indicate that a sportive classroom, teacher behavior, peer influence, and lack of preparation time all contribute to student willingness to speak English. Well, I guess that's all I can shout out to you and give to you about information about this article. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.